Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for your time of adjustment today. We are prepared to move directly into our training today. It is recorded. We're live streamed via our YouTube for your review. This is the final chapter for Master Educator, and then we start all back over. So if you came in on a particular chapter, you're going to get all of the ones that came before that now. So we'll do state board prep for about a week. So next week will be dedicated to state board prep and completing lesson plans, completing everything we need as far as what we need to have to go over to state board when it comes to the practical. And then we'll be doing a little theory state board prep as well, going over some practice questions that could be on the exam. Following next week, we will be back into chapters 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, so on and so on. So it just kind of starts all the way back over until everyone has gone through the program. And so today we're at chapter 14. I went ahead of myself on 15. We did complete that. It's recorded if you were not able to join us. But chapter 14, career and employment preparation. Ooh, this is what we have to chat about. Because what do we do with this license? Oh my goodness. So many things, as you know, with a cosmetology license, esthetician license. So many things you could do. Okay. And then now you think about 2026 with the advancement of technology. More people are open to different ways of receiving education. So many different industries stepping out of the box. And I actually was saying, yeah, I want to do like a 1 day conference, right? For beauty professionals. But I want to do a 1 day conference, but it's a 1 day conference that shows, or maybe a webinar, I don't know what it is, but it shows your cosmetologist or your esthetician, your manicurist, your beauty professional that's behind the chair in 2026 going forward. It is going to be essential that you carry a couple things under your belt. Okay. So although beauty is, a lot of people's cash cow, a lot of people's main focus, but in order for beauty to really move, your other gifts, jump in. And I'm reminded of a quote, um, a motivation. Let me look it up. I gotta get some credentials. Let me look it up. Let me look it up. Um, and I'm gonna start with that first. All right, so it talks about having active versus passive incomes. Okay, and that's something we all. Let me make sure y'all can hear me. Yeah, y'all can hear me. Okay, where we must have active and passive incomes. Okay, some interpretations. Active income is working, um, portfolio investment, investing, passive income, generating assets. And so I believe just going forward, we should, as beauty professionals, we must have active and passive income. All right. And as we talk, and I have an audience of beauty educators. We talk about career and employment preparation. I believe you must have active and passive incomes, and so we can get the experience, enjoy the ride. Okay, but we should also have some things set in place that we don't have to do a lot of work for. All right, and so the actually it's a scripture, Ecclesiastes 11:2. You must have Miss Cox. It says, invest in 7 ventures, yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. That is what the motivation I want to leave you with today um before we go into our lesson. Literally, invest in 7, maybe 8. Okay. You don't know what's going to happen, but you should, biblical, it is, you should have multiple streams of income. And I'm telling you this because I wish someone would have told me. And I'm telling you this because I got caught up in just doing this one thing that I love, and looked up and was scrambling. Okay, I can still do this one thing, but some economy happens, things shift. I need to. What happened? you know. So in the not so much rebirth, just the reset. I said that I would share. Hey, love your passion, okay, but don't sit down on your gifts. And if you could sit at home and look around tonight and say, what other things am I good at? Those things that you're good at should be a stream of income. All right. And so 7 streams, maybe 8, because you don't know what'll happen. All right. It says invest in 7 ventures, yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. So that's what that was my motivation today. Okay. And it is um, because you're moving into career and employment preparation. You're at a point, what do I do with the license? Been through the training. I'm preparing for the test. Now what can I do with it? Okay. Um I don't want you to think just teaching is the only thing you can do. Many people use it as credentials. Okay. Many people use it as credentials. Well, I'm gonna become, I'm gonna use it with my coaching business. I'm gonna use it with my consulting business. I'm gonna open up a beauty school. I'm going to I'm going to work for product companies. So you can have so many different things. I'm going to build my courses. I'm going to write books. Many people use it for credentials. And notice we ain't even said we're going to be in the classroom yet. Okay. Somebody may want the credential because, just say you move over to Japan. A lot of people moving to Thailand, Japan. One thing that's I don't know if it's active now or it's active next year, but they put a proposal in to stop influencers from giving expert advice without the license. So you may go to a whole new territory. You never know where life's going to take you, and you want to become an influencer, and you have the credential to do that. Even if you were in the US and wanting to become an influencer, you have the credential that sticks beside you, like expert, guru, a specialist in the field. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm waiting on a contract. I'm waiting on a contract, y'all. And when I tell you, I ain't gonna touch nobody's head. It's a beauty contract, but it just in the negotiations, y'all ain't touch nobody's head. My goal going forward is to still be in the industry, be more impactful than ever, make more money, and not even have to touch a head. And ultimately, not even have to go back into a traditional classroom. I'm just going to be 100% Can I be 1,000 with you? Okay. So when it comes to career and employment preparation, I may not be the one most schools want me to come in and motivate their teachers, because I'm going to motivate them. Yes, active is fine, but do not get complacent working for someone else. Okay. Think about it. Take your knowledge. How do I use this? How do I turn this into another stream of income? And so the 1 day conference or webinar I was thinking about doing is cater to beauty people, but I wanted to bring in individuals who were beauty professionals and real estate agents, beauty professionals and insurance agents, beauty professionals and coaches, beauty professionals, consultants, beauty professionals, and what other passive income could you earn even if you were still working behind your chair. So I wanted to bring in individuals of that capacity, because I wanted to say, wake up, build, don't be ashamed. Sometimes people try to shame people and say, you have to have you another job. You don't, yeah, we better get smart. It's all, do not sit down on what you love to do it, but still say, I can't, um, I can do more things. I can have more things under my belt. And so that's one of my major things today, is just to employ motivation. Okay. Do 7. Nah, do 8. You never know what'll come. Don't sit on your gift. And for me, I've always loved beauty industry. So everything I do has something around the beauty industry. So I don't necessarily have to be behind a chair, and I don't necessarily have to be inside of a traditional classroom. That's just it. I'm a teacher's teacher. And so I'm a school owner as well, but I'm a teacher's teacher. I'm not going to let you run the rat race of building somebody else's stuff, and you get the minimum. And there's no forward move. There's no room for elevation within certain, especially mom and pop schools. So yeah. Let's look at the critical concept. Oh, let me pause. What do you guys think? Let's do a wake up check. Are y'all woke? Y'all with me?
Listen, I'm the hallelujah choir over here.
Yes, I'm
Because
right here.
this is right up my alley, and this is everything that I tell myself and my friends, and this is why I am in school right now doing this. It's not just to be in a classroom at all, and I've been asked that. So I have my little plan, and a
Yeah,
part of me kind of felt a little bit hesitant to talk about it because I didn't know. I'm just being honest. I didn't know like if the passion was just, I have a passion to teach classroom, and I didn't want to. I kind of felt like that person that was like, I don't want to say that I ain't trying to be in the classroom, but
yeah.
but I definitely have a passion to teach, and I'm very excited. But I'm gonna go a different route with it.
Yeah.
So this is
And I'm gonna push
everything
you.
to me. Yes, ma'am. I'm excited.
I'm
So
gonna
yeah,
push you.
I'm over
Yeah.
here. Yep. Hallelujah. My baby looking at me like, you okay, mama? I'm like, yeah. That's right on the money.
Yes, I'm gonna push you, because man, no more just doing what we think everybody else is doing. And honestly, when I came about, they taught me wrong, and I felt like,
Mm-hmm.
took me 20 years to figure it out, to turn it, all that stuff back around. I ain't finna do that no more. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
satisfying nobody else's anything. You want what I got, you're gonna get it how I'm finna give it to you. Okay.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
the classroom will be there, and remember, you cannot, um man, did you guys see the thing that President Trump did, where he didn't even like really publicize it, but he has on, it's like on the Department of Education, somebody website, the White House website, where it's free for like US citizens to learn technology, AI, so on and so on. And I'm sitting up here like I've been telling my people that for a minute, and we behind other countries. He's literally basically saying, y'all got to get catch up and get it together. We're gonna give it to you free, but get ready. Everything we do finna be on these wavelengths. So if you're pushing back against different things and you're so stuck in what you have always seen 20 years. Yes, people say this how mama them did, this how my teacher 20 years ago did it. You ain't gonna be in them positions long. You're gonna be looking real catch uppy, trying to really catch up. And I just don't want y'all to be lost in the sauce. Like, hey, go work, do your thing, but remember that classroom will always be there, and then classrooms are evolving. So whatever you think, put some pedal to it and just do it. I don't think we've seen anything in the beauty industry where we are going in the next 5 years. Everything is going to be new innovation. So I, what I did 5 years ago, scratch, does not work at all 5 years ago. So I'm not even thinking that way. I'm thinking 2026 and building. Continue. Miss Hill, you were saying something. Thank you, Miss Edwards, for sharing. But Miss Hill, you were saying something.
Yes, yes, I really needed this.
Wow.
I have been so busy with helping everyone else with their next step in this beauty industry that after COVID hit, I kind of lost my way with my next step. I
Mm,
always knew I wanted to go to, become an instructor and to have my own school. Here I am 25 years later doing it. But you just turned on a whole nother light bulb. Like,
mm,
I've been trying to figure out, like you said, you have one plan, but how life changes. When COVID hit, my whole everything spun around. But I'm
mm-hmm.
still in the beauty industry. But I needed to hear what I heard today from you on how many other avenues I can go on that I wasn't even aware of. You see, so I needed this, and I believe after I get done with this, I need some consulting from you because what you just shared with us is what I share with so many people. I need direction my own self, or I need to
Mm,
know what other options are out there. So yeah, this was
wow.
good. This is good.
When I tell you, we can get stuck in a place where sometimes I want to get stuck in the right places when prophetically it would say, hey, they're gonna pay you for your brain. You're not gonna be the corny one. And I know this just went left. You're not gonna be the one that they look over. You're not gonna be the underdog for long. The last shall be first. And when I tell you, add a little faith and persistence and just believe. And when I say, you know what, I'm gonna do something. My mantra has always been they talked about Jesus. I don't care if they talk about me. I'm gonna do it. One thing they gonna say, she did it though, even if it didn't work out. She did it, and so I've always been bold in that aspect. But when I tell you, when they called about a new product development, I feel like Erica, you're a brain. I feel like Trish, you're a brain. Think about what's missing, and when they're gonna call because they're gonna call for relevant sound information. They cannot cultivate products without industry experts. And so at the end of the day, it takes somebody who really in the industry to say, oh, that works, oh, that don't work, oh, that works, and to think about ingredients. And people will be on Facebook posting, competing about clients and hairstyles, and I will shake my head. I'm saying, y'all, it ain't even. It's so much bigger than that. These companies, schools cannot move without industry expert. Robots and AI can't do nothing without somebody on the other side telling them what to do. So there is just opening up mindset. There's so much more you could do. I said, man, I got to shift my whole world around because grief hit me hard, and coming out, then my mom hit, having to take care of her. How do I still maintain a lifestyle and still do what I love to do? So it's like it came all the way down just for God to really show me how to do something else and use every gift I got on the inside of me. So I'm not stopping. That's where I am. That's where I'm going. And when I tell you 5 years is not going to look like today, but build, go, seven. If you ain't got seven, get eight because you never know what's going to happen. And that's the word. That's what I stand on. That's what I build on. And mentorship, the individuals, and let me tell you, mentors are for a season. You can have a mentor for different areas. My mentor right now is 84 years old. Let me see, my circle of mentors are all 60 to 84 years old. And some people will say, "What?" Because guess what I'm doing? I'm listening. I'm just at the heel of their feet. I'm listening. I'm catching wisdom, drop it, just little jewels. And then one of them said, "I could really pass this down to anybody, but I think you would appreciate the information." And she sent me a package in the mail, and she sent me one of them old school pouches that had some little bitty swatches on. We got fancy swatches. I bought fancy swatches, but I value those little bitty patches because they meant a lot to her to send them to me. She didn't want to send them to anybody. And just the wealth of information that was in that folder, I was like, man, I can go up. She's equipped me to go up to the next level if I wanted to. So we got another book coming. So that's even something else, writing books, writing curriculums, so even though it's for say the last chapter, but man, it opens up so many doors. My friend Ava, oh, Erica, let me tell you, it is a shortage of aesthetics, knowledgeable aesthetics educators, and
Oh,
you
yes,
ain't
ma'am.
you ain't even got to go into school and teach. Even if
Mm-hmm.
people that look like you teaching on a higher level, that space is there's a void space in like beauty shows and product companies.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, people like us, we got the money. We the consumers. We buy a lot, but we
Mm-hmm.
eventually we gonna stop buying if we don't see people that represent us. So
Yeah.
they're not trained on Fitzpatrick's 4 and up. Most of the
Mm.
got it. And so even on the
Mm-hmm.
level of intelligence where you was talking to me about, the acid pills and stuff like that, even on that level, there are people who are way exceeded, way far more than what we've ever done in our industries, but they don't know this.
Yep.
They don't know anything about this. Take that expertise to get through the door, and you'll be sitting in the you'll be sitting in the boardroom, and
Yeah.
then somebody on stage will be like, "Oh, I'm a platform on stage." You're like, "Baby, I built that."
Mhm.
It's just
Come
like a
on now.
yeah. It was like, "Baby, I built that." So and even here, I feel like we're kindred nerds. I'm gonna just say it. I feel like we kindred the same, the same, you know, and it may be on YouTube. I auditioned for a product company, but I auditioned for their irons, their their flat irons, and my first audition for platform artistry. I think it's on YouTube. They recorded it years. Oh my goodness, I don't know how many years ago, but it's on YouTube. And they had a list of celebrity stylists who were like, all over the, TV. And they were doing adjunct work for this same company. And I guess they were going to do it like a reality show, or we were going to get roasted when we go in front of them. They were going to tear our styles down, whatever. So, of course, the Lord was with me and went up there, didn't know what I was, what I've learned from gleaming and studying people and places I wanted to go. And got on the stage, gave them it all. I had two models showcasing the product on each end of the Then I had the model that I was doing on stage, and talking and walking and talking about how the product is, all the benefits of the iron and the style. Um, One of my good best friends now. She's a celebrity stylist. She's in Atlanta. She has tons of restaurants. She's huge in Atlanta. and she was on the team. She tore me down, thought she tore me down, and publicly I did not get it. My friend JJ got it, got the job to be join the platform artist team with them. I didn't get the job. Well, when I went backstage, the liaison said, "Hey, we couldn't give you that job, but can I hug you?" He hugged me. I literally felt like the Holy Spirit just it was crazy. He hugged me. He said, "We didn't give you that job, but the owner, the CEO, was watching your presentation from the booth back there, and they want to hire you. Not for that job, but they like how you talked about color in your presentation, so they want to bring you into the boardroom." So y'all, I got the job, but I came for one job, ended up getting another job that paid triple or whatever they were paying. And that was my first aspect that my brain could literally get me in rooms. Nothing else. My ability in my hands will never be able to get me in. And from there came my own stages. And when we came back to Brunner, I had my own stage. I brought my own team. You can imagine how flabbergasted they were. But that young lady, we became really, really good friends, protective, like really, really good friends, to where if she goes and flies anywhere for the company, one of her accents is Destiny has to go with me. That's who I trust on stage with me. So if you book me, you have to book her. And sometimes you just gotta be like, wow, how did we get here? But literally, that was my thing. And she began to trust my knowledge and on stage in areas where she was not proficient, but because she had a celebrity name, I would speak and step forward and protect those spaces because you don't want your team member embarrassed. So it built a lot in our relationships. So at the end of the day, I'm just opening up. And so now they may not call me for the stage as often as they used to, but even before the product gets to the stage, I've been in the boardroom. And that's where I'm going. I'm going further and further and further. So we got all of that from um being dared to go sign up for instructor training school. Got a license, teaching, and from the classroom to the stage to the boardroom, and I ain't stopping. I don't know what's next, but we ain't stopping. I don't know what y'all got planned, but you ain't stopping. Okay, that was just call it a motivational moment. So let's look at the critical concept because this is recorded, so we can always go back to it. We will testify on the recording. It says the critical educators are not born, they are made through study, learning, and growth. Yes. Okay. Wherever you want to be, you're not born, you're made. It's in you, but I think the study, the learning, and the growth just helps elevate it. Okay. It all helps elevate it. Desired performance goals. Here we go. This is what, when we're done with this, what you should be able to do. Explain the importance of preparing for employment. Preparing for employment. Write an achievement oriented resume and prepare an employment portfolio. Um, Complete a typical employment application and be prepared to complete an effective employment interview. Explain strategies to maintain employment once it is obtained. Okay, all that they've asked us to do, we know how to maintain it. Okay, we know how to manage a classroom. We know how to keep the students engaged. We've identified their learning styles. We've identified how we teach. We've learned to work together as a team. We've learned to build lessons that are appropriate for our audience, lesson plans, notes. We've learned how to incorporate activities and videos and handouts to help push those lessons along. We've learned about public speaking. We've learned about evaluation. You know, we've learned about sidebars, okay, bringing activities in, going on breaks. Okay, we've learned about a lot of different things. We can maintain the employment. I think that we can maintain the employment. If only thing we gotta do is get up and come to work on time and do all the rest, we could definitely maintain the employment. Um, Explain the importance of keeping accurate records, school records, and the importance of reception area to a school success. All right. Remember, the first impression is sometimes the lasting impression, and demonstrate good school telephone techniques. Um, Let me just say this: these performance goals should be upgraded. They are the basics. It should be upgraded in 2026. So these are minimum, the bare minimum that we should be doing. There's so much more that's available. Okay. So as the master educator, you prepare an achievement oriented resume. It sizzles with excitement. So guys, traditional resumes has to be in what? On a sheet of paper. What do you guys think is the 2026 resume? Is what's the craze? What's new? What have you seen when it comes to resumes in 2026?
Well, I hate to say it, but AI is doing a lot of them is what I'm seeing coming into my office. But everything is like PDF. You're emailing it, downloading it down versus printing out the paper. You're
Hmm.
submitting it now.
Yeah, and it was like somebody asked for my bio and I couldn't type the words in or copy and paste. It was like, oh, just post a link. I was like, oh, okay. You just that's all. It's that easy. You just want to post a link. Hmm.
Oh, that's right, because they're getting rid of, I've seen now they're getting rid of business cards now. You can just scan a QR code, or somebody had a watch or something I
Yep,
seen
I got that.
on Facebook. So
Uh-huh.
I guess now it's digital. Let me say that instead of saying PDF, it's gone digital.
Okay, okay, okay. Erica, you say you have that?
Oh yeah, I got QR codes on t-shirts, on the back of my shirts that I wear when I'm running errands. So if you see
Uh-huh.
it, you can scan it. It's called a dot card. You can get it on bracelets where you just like if you out and somebody asks for your information, you can just hold it up to their phone and then it'll show like everything. All of your socials, your booking site, just anything you want to put on there. So QR codes really are becoming a big thing.
Yeah. I had them on my shirts, and then I remember my friend having a card in her wallet, but she could click the card. If she had the card in her phone, she just tap your phone and it came up all of her contact info. But I do need to get that one with all of my info. I need to put it like, look, before this summer, I'm giving myself 3 months. Get all your connections together. Because I know I have to go to Orlando in June. And when you go to a show like that, you just want to tap. You meet so many new people, you just want to tap. I don't want any cards. So I'm definitely going to look into getting that.
I'm
Um,
typing it in here for you. It's a dot card. I'm gonna put it in the chat. But if
okay.
you Google dot card, that's the one I use. I've had it for a couple of years, but if you Google dot card, I'm sure it'll pop up. And
Okay.
then I'll share my link too if I can, so y'all can see what it look like. Oh, this gonna take me a minute. You can
Okay. It's all
continue.
dot card.
Well, that's good because yeah, I am not yo, I'm not tech savvy like this, so I'm trying to learn.
And you getting it.
I'm trying, but I got in Canva the other day and had to come right on back out of it. I was like, I'm so
But
used to just having like an assistant that does all that for me. So I'm like, Lord, I got to channel my brain into, doing some stuff on my own.
yeah, and Canva Create. For the last couple of years, Canva has had these like presentations like Apple when they introduce like new phones. That has been like I wait and just sit in front of the computer. And last year they had you had to get tickets early and they sold out. I don't think everybody was happy about it because it was so many people that couldn't go. They're back online. I want to say next month they're having Canva Create, and it's just like a launch of all of the things and how to use the things on Canva. So you probably can go back on YouTube and like at least 2 or 3 years if you're starting just to get a little beginner stuff. And I look at when I'm introing into an app, I go to YouTube and see what everybody's saying about it. And today I was in an AI summit. I got a little bit, I got a lot, and then I left the Zoom because it was too much. I need to now go and let it sit. That's just my process. And then I go and try. I jump back in, but it was just a lot of information. And so yeah. In that case, YouTube becomes YouTube University to teach you how to do the beginner things in those apps and then move on up. But I just went on the website for Dot Card and I saved it, and I'll be checking it out later on. So and I was gonna say too, there is a gap. Um One young lady was mad that she got sent home from an interview because she wasn't dressed appropriately. She had shorts on and a bunny. You know, I just feel like the bunny, you got out to come to the interview in the bunny, it was over. It was over. You didn't prepare. And that's really like a whole generation. That's really like a whole generation. So we have we're growing, but then we're progressively going back in some areas. And so I think they fell in love with just the entrepreneurial side and the hustling side of it. That, oh, if I work for myself, I don't got to do all that. And I literally had a student say, I said, why do you want to go in the suite so bad? Try this and try that. I don't want nobody to tell me what to do. I said, you haven't even made it yet. And you're already saying you don't want nobody to tell you what to do. And I said, don't you know going in, it shows you how to dress and prepare for work, how to be a team member, how to glean to learn how they do business, how you can understand and just, learn styles. You don't have to just be seeking education over here or not seeking education at all. Every day when we went into the salon, we was learning something because everybody was open. So um, just students right now are saying they don't want to go to suites, but then they're burnt out and they're struggling. And after a year, they're not in the salon, and it used to be about 5 years. So now after a year, you see them they're doing something else all the way around because they chose to go out here and they just got beat down by trying to do a sweep, and this person's not even a marketer. They don't even fight for themselves to get clients. And so I just didn't understand how you don't even come to school, but then you want a sweep. You don't get up early enough to come to school, and then you want a sweep. Some things just don't match. And so that's what I'm calling out to them reality. Like, look, don't go do that. Don't go do that. So that's part of the resume building. For me, when I look at resumes, I go straight to Instagram. Instagram has become the portfolio land. I used to carry the discs, the CDs around when I went to trade shows that had my portfolio on. Then it went to jump drives. Um, and then we used to have something called, I did Miami Fashion Week, and we had to have one of my team members brought a printed portfolio, like a picture album. And that's like old school, but it was still relevant at that time, you know. And when we was at dinner, the opportunity was like, pull it out, and she got the feedback of a lifetime at that particular fashion show. And that's the last person I remember seeing with an album with some of the stuff that they do from makeup to hair. And then it was electronic media kits, in which sometimes we still do those, but electronic media kits became, they're more like branded websites and things of that nature, but still on a jump drive. Your electronic media kits, it was just like a slideshow, just showed everything you've been doing that could benefit you in the job and where you were going. From the electronic media kits to, look, here's a link, you know, um, I'm sending you a link over. Check them out. Boom. You have decisions within minutes, or within a day rather than weeks. Sending it up to different individuals to approve you for different campaigns. So I think everything has changed when it comes to resumes, when it comes to portfolios, and the interviews. I still believe the interviews are sharp. You should be sharp in your attire, sharp in your speech and your terms. This is where I tell individuals, hey, if you curse a lot, hey, that's on your time and on your dime. But when you're trying to move to another level and you got to go through certain boards and individuals to get there. Um, One of my friends said, I was in New York, and she said, I taught a class. She didn't teach a class, but I taught a class, and it was uh, it was amazing because they put me between product club, and I'm teaching a color class. They put me between product club and Bali Lama, the lady that wears the yellow. I can't think of her name right now. Very popular on the color circuit, and I did no marketing. Only did the marketing what they promoted in the book, in the IBS book. I was between product club and this lady that was the queen of color. And I think because of the way I looked, I didn't look like them, different. When they got ready to open the door, I couldn't believe it. The line had formed all the way down the hallway. And when I tell you I was teaching and I turned my back and I said, oh, I only brought a few books, let's close it out. And by the time I turned around holding my books up, it were people running to the front with $20 bills. That's when I learned that, oh, my price just went up. Okay. That's when I learned that it doesn't matter how you do and what you do. If you're something new and something fresh, and if you can talk and in the interview to getting the trainings, I also did not have a lot. I couldn't do a photo shoot for a color model. Everything went wrong. But because of the experience and able to articulate what I could do, what I could bring, these were my impressions, like real social media impressions. You have to count how many people have liked your post, count all your followers. Because of that, I got through on the other side. And then when the opportunity came and to see all those people say, okay, we got to really bring it. That was a big point. I think that was my interview, them giving me a shot. That was my interview. And you have some people now that have no aspect of what to do in an interview, whether it's internal at a business sitting down at a desk or it's external on a stage or at a lunch. And my friend said, um, I went back to my hotel and she called and she said, hey, where are you? I'm at the bar. I said, oh, I'm in my hotel room getting ready for my flight tomorrow. She said, the deals are made at the bar. You should be down here. You had a great class. You should be mingling at the bar. Y'all know what I told her. I don't have any problem, going to a bar. I know who I am, but it was just the point of, you really think that being at a bar was the reason why I'm in a certain position, or you really think, you know, I want to say kissing somebody what, is the reason. But that's what she was ensuing. You have to really mix and mingle around the people really making the deals. I was like, babe, you are so wrong. You are so wrong. But that's what people think. I can make it to the top if I know different people. If I grab a hold to this person that does that, I'm a shoe in at the top. And it's at the top, but with no performance. Okay. Looking at primary for employment, primary goals, attain the gain for employment. We got it. Okay. As a teacher or some other related position for which training has prepared you. We're going to do a whole lot of stuff. Personal inventory of skills. We now have to look at us. When I say, look, what's our gifts? What can we do? What do we produce? Okay, what can we do? What are we good at? Everybody should do the personal inventory of skills. What are you good at? Okay. Um, and also in doing it, you can say, "Ooh, this is tough. What I need work on." Facial expressions. If you know you're gonna be on a stage, I need work on facial expressions. Can you keep teaching outside of the person on the front row giving you the mean mug? Can you teach past them, or you gonna stop and try to fight? Okay, you gotta teach past a whole lot of stuff. Can you keep teaching when you know something going on to the left on the side of you? You looking, you know it's there, but you gotta keep on moving. You gotta keep on going. So that's something you have to check out too. Let's look at characteristics for getting a job. And again, we're going to bring this over into 2026. It's going to be motivation, positive outlook. Okay. You'll hear people say energy, energy, energy. Forget energy. Qualifications. Do you get along well with others? The younger generation have made it really, really hard for us to retire, y'all. Period. That's what I tell my students. I can't retire because I'm gonna have to come sit by you and show you how to do it because it's always going to be a space for me. I joke with them about that. I can never retire because I got you. You don't want to do what you got to do to take care of the business. And it was like, what? Yeah, sometimes you just got to break it down. You're going to faint, you're going to quit, and I'm going to have to be there to get it all together. I'm gonna have to work by you and see who make the most money every day. And those little things I say to motivate them and push them to doing better. You got to do something better. But any kind of positive aspects, hey, I love to have that person's spirit work here. Integrity, someone who's going to be honest, good technical communication skills. And even if sometimes they have great communication skills, but the technical part, they need some work, I will hire them and train them, connect them with some development, okay? Because the communication skills, integrity, and just a positive atmosphere, that trumps everything. If I don't want a person that's great at what they do with a nasty attitude. There are stylists I see on social media, beautiful, wonderful at what they do, but I don't like the attitude, so I can't work with them. I can't. I can't. Okay. Strong work ethic. If you're gonna work with me, we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna get it done. I want you. I want you there. And enthusiasm. I ain't gonna be the most pumper every day, but I need somebody who can, and we're gonna pump each other up. So those are great characteristics. We can look at those and share with our students as well. Of course, we know the resume basics. Simple. Print on quality paper, and we know they're not printing anymore. Name, address, phone numbers. Y'all, I got a resume one time, and it was unique. It was some set of twins. They were applying for a job and they applied together on the same resume. Very unique, very unique. And I said, never seen that before, but hey, let's move with it. Very unique. And they got the job. You know why they got the job? Because they were enthusiastic. They were honest. Their reputation preceded them. They had great technical skill, great communication skills. All of that other stuff was on the point. And the resume, just them applying together, they didn't matter because everything else trumped them. Okay. Recent and relevant work experience, all of this superseded and pushed them to the front. Okay. Um, Quantify information, use numbers and percentages before I even go work for a company. I want to do some research on the company because I have found I want to tell you how I can be a difference. Okay. And then it's, some people will just sit there and just take whatever you're giving and just let the interview person talk. I'm saying, okay, when I do get the opportunity to talk, because I've learned from not talking, that how do they benefit me? What is the fast track? What does that look like moving up? Okay. And does this position you're offering, is it remote? Can I still travel or do I have to be on site? All of those things matter to me 46, and those major things matter.
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I just been checking the shirt.
Okay. I have turned this into an office over here. I'm sorry.
You okay?
So, yes, guys, use numbers and percentages. Do your homework. Know what you bring to the table and stand on that, because off off the live, when I stopped the live, I had to tell you what was one of my negotiation topics were. But once we come off the live, I'll show you. But definitely, I use, better believe I use numbers and percentages. Okay. We look at resume development. Those are the alternative types of resume development. The electronic parts. Many individuals no longer doing paper, but you do have some paper ones come in there. When you said that you see a lot of chat GPT, y'all, when I tell you, when I see a lot of chat GPT, it's almost 5:13. I'm a reader. I'm gonna give me a great one page. Hey, you may hit me with 1.5 page. Great. But when I see 3 pages of your resume, uh-uh, it's too much. Your foreword, your your leading letter is a whole page instead of traditional 2, 3 paragraphs, 12 sentences. Mm-mm. I feel like, yeah, you pulled that together. You haven't even read it. You copied and pasted, and you just presented anything. Okay, and a lot of times, here's where my chat GPT and education comes in, where I walk out of the classroom. I was at the Dallas show, San Antonio show last year, August or September, premiere, San Antonio premiere. I'm an education person, so whatever show I'm going to, I am going to get some. I'm gonna sit in the classrooms. I went in the class, and it was a skincare or a lash class. It was something, but she had PowerPoint, and it was full of Chat GPT. I mean, it was so much information, so much information. You literally drown yourself. And she could not teach and focus without reading the board, the reading the presentation screen, and she was just reading the presentation screen and didn't really look at the audience. I was like, well, what are we doing? That was just a copy and paste presentation, and you don't know it, so you're reading it. It's like she opened up a book and just read it straight off the book. That deterred me, and I just eased my way to the front and then eased my way out the door. Because I am a person that sit in the classroom. I want you to teach me something, even if it's something I know. Um, I'm getting refreshed on. I want you also to engage in me. I could take the chat GPT a little bit, but engage with me, you know? And that's just me. I told you I'm a horrible student. I'm a great teacher, but a horrible student. So I need some engagement from the educator. I don't want the educator down at the book just looking and never look up and lock eyes, never ask any questions or anything like that. So it deterred me from being in the classroom. And I literally for that hour had to go find something else to do. Because and I went into another classroom, and they were just selling, 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 selling before they talked about the hair color. And basically the description of the class was not what the class was. And I was like, ooh, I am not a happy camper at this event. But that was some of the things I went over. Um, Knowing your audience, keeping it short, stress accomplishments. And I'm not complaining on an interview. I'm not going to be negative. I'm not going to downgrade the last job that I had. You don't know who knows who. Okay. And then it may look like a negative light. So they may think you did that to them, you'll do that to anybody. So resume development, it just depends. Okay. I try not to do any photos. I do have one resume out. I think my LinkedIn has a photo on it. I avoid salary references, and I tell you that has something to do with, once we stop recording, I'll tell you about that. instance as well, and avoid personal information. So, moving on to resume development, portfolio contents, of course, current address, all your continuing education. Once you guys get licensed, the state is going to keep up with all of your continuing education. Keep your certificates because a lot of times, I've had friends um, keep professional development certifications, continuing education certifications, and use those for life experiences when they were going to get credits for a degree, when they went over to a 4-year university, and maybe they went fast track. They use though that life, I don't know what they call it, but it's life credits, and they use the certifications in these different programs to count as hours, okay, as credits. And so they kind of fast pace them to their bachelor's or their master's degree. List of professional affiliations. Now, for me, um, with the just the rebuild of the micro school model, I am going to join a few affiliations. And I had a group of friends tell me about Beauty Cultures League. And actually, I knew about it. I've been knowing about it for years, since I was 17, 18. And in different parts of my life, I um, seeing different people go to different events and stuff. But now, what I'm doing with building a network on school levels, consultant level, it's now attractive to me on another level. So I'm thinking about going to New Orleans this summer, and I don't know what day it is. They said May or June. I think it's May, going to New Orleans for the National Beauty Cultures League convention. And it's been around forever, and I just want to experience it. Um, and then also in Dallas, I think for educators, it's free. If you want to go to Dallas, guys, the skin show, the national skin show, and it's all, when I say it's all professional, it's already mapped out. Most of the classes are from skincare product companies. Um, and it's already mapped out. And then you have some of the companies there who sell product, teaching classes on the floor. It's all kind of stuff. So that's in Dallas. And usually educators and school owners get to attend for free. And I was thinking I do that annually. So I'm thinking of either doing that or going to New Orleans for the networking with the Beauty Cultures League. That should be something.
Are
You
you talking
guys.
about ICES?
Yes,
Who
yes.
go for free?
Is that the same one in Dallas?
There is one in Dallas. I think it
I
might
think
be in
that's a different
April.
one. Dallas one is, I'm looking it up. No, yeah, ICES Dallas. Yeah. So fine
Okay.
print. Okay, hold on, hold on. Let me switch. All right. So school letterhead, that's the fine print. School owners and teachers can attend for free. And most of the time I may meet other school owners out there, and it may just be a, hey, this is where we get our skincare education from for the summer. But and here's the thing: when I first went a couple of years ago, I really didn't see a lot of people like us. You know that aesthetics is
Mm-hmm.
outside of Tennessee. When you go to Vegas and places like that, you don't see a lot of us in skincare. And I
Mm-hmm.
tell my students, and I tell a lot of people in Tennessee, you guys are not using your skincare license to its fullest ability. You're just wanting to get a suite and do lashes and basic
Mm-hmm.
basics, facials and stuff, back treatments. That's just
Mm-hmm.
basic. But your license could take you to a whole nother place. So when they do go to these places like this, you find them just sitting there at workshops over and over and over. And I love it because now their eyes are open and they had to get out of Memphis to see it. Period. Most of the time, my students when they go took them to IBS Las Vegas, the show. When they got to Vegas, I was past them in the hallway or on the floor. Their eyes were so big. They'd be like, Miss Cox. I was like, I told you. But when they got back, they were you couldn't stop them because they saw everything that was possible. But they're not gonna see it in a place that they're really, really comfortable. But May 17th and 18th in Dallas. Um, and it's a good show. It's a good show. So all of the big brands are there, and it's not an overwhelming show. Um, like the one that's couldn't, like the ones they may have in New York or the one that they may have in Las Vegas. It's not overwhelming with a lot of people. And cause in the classes I said, you may not have more than 8 classes a day. It may be maybe 20 classes a day. And that's a average because if some of the major shows you're looking at maybe 100 classes running a day. So
Mm.
nice. You get to talk to the people, see a lot. Um, I took a male friend with me. He's in the beauty industry, and he spent a lot. He found some other male guys who are barbers. They linked up and they were just hanging out, but they were in the class in the skincare classes because the barbers wanted to learn more about grooming
Mm-hmm.
the show. He did LED. He learned LED lashes, and I was in that class too.
Oh.
Yeah, I like LED lashes, and he learned the you know how they do the lace, but he learned how to do the individuals for the brows.
Mm-hmm. I thought about bringing it into my business because I didn't find anybody out here that does it.
Nobody.
I thought about that. I saw it like last year and I was contemplating. I just added something else, but I might go back to visit that for next year because
Yeah,
I haven't seen anybody do it yet.
nobody. And a man was teaching it.
Mm-hmm.
And so all the guys felt comfortable because a man was teaching and he was a masculine man.
Mm.
And all the ladies around said, "What y'all got going on?" So it was a very relaxed, and they were on the floor, had their own little corner, and the man was just teaching. You know, phones out. You can asking for volunteers. My students saw lashes on another level because in our spaces, most people that are very who do a lot of lashing in their community have always looked like them, and they have prejudged, saying, "Oh, she can't do lashes because she doesn't look like her." But when they got to that show, the lash booths were off the chain. It was one company, they were pink and glittery, and everybody had on pink glitter cowboy boots and hats. And when I say, I was like, I know they are making some money because they were them lash kits with $300 and $400. People were just swiping because they were pink and glittery. Same thing that y'all have in y'all kit. And they weren't even doing attaching a lash class to it. So I tell my students a lot of stuff y'all do too much. You just need to go out and see, check the field, learn, and then come back and figure out what you need to do. So they were amazed at that. So it was just it was a lot. And Skin Scripts, I got to introduce them to Skin Scripts because that was a product that we carry. Um, they got to meet, a lot of trainers, Farm Fresh. They got to meet and learn about a lot of products that I liked. So, Texas Laser Institute, my friend Candace was there who does some advanced training from us. So they got to meet her in person. So it was a nice field trip, inexpensive in the fact it was in Vegas. I think they may have gotten their ticket on sale and their hotel. They may have shared a hotel. We had about 8 students. So it was good. It was a good first timer. So check that out. So that's what I was talking about. And they have bigger ones and they have smaller ones too, but more people, that individuals that look like us, are now a part of the show and attending the show. For me, I'm a stickler when I go into the classrooms because if you're telling me about acid pills, you're telling me about all this great information, but you're showing me proof of lighter Fitzpatrick's 1, 2, 3, slightly four, but it's four is a mixed race four. I'm confused because my clientele may not be of those Fitzpatrick. So how does it work? Or did you even invest in testing or looking for knowledge on these other skin types? So that's always what I look for when I go to shows is these companies, honestly, they'll sell you anything. Okay. They will join their money together, and this is what a lot of people don't know. They join their monies together and put in on major research for skincare and hair care, and then they share the studies. When they share the studies, then each company just build it up with their own brands. And so after a while, if you go to shows a lot and if you go to classes, you'll see that some brands are sharing the same information, just branded differently. And so you're thinking you're getting something new or you're choosing this company because it is your favorite company, but really everybody has the same information. So I noticed that their companies do that, our companies don't do that. um, but that's just one thing we look at. So yeah, check that out. Employment portfolio content. Of course, we know what's in it while we're teaching, job hunting. Man, when I tell you I'm about to really do LinkedIn on steroids, I'm about to do LinkedIn on steroids. I love LinkedIn, and I don't know why it took me the last 2 years to fall in love with LinkedIn. Okay. But LinkedIn is where, to me, the deals are not made at the bar, they're made on LinkedIn. When you're trying to move towards a more professional network, where really you're looking for investments and individuals you can partner with and who can help you move to the next level in companies, it's LinkedIn. I would encourage everybody get your LinkedIn and build it up, clean it up, use chat for the tell them, hey, I'm building my LinkedIn profile. Those are that's what it's for. But I get a lot of connections through LinkedIn, and anytime Brunners had got ready to do a post, I was on an advisory board. I didn't even know they did a press release about it. They did a press release and dropped it on LinkedIn. So all the corporate individuals knew about it, my corporate friends that I was connected to, but my Facebook friends, all the other people did not know about it. Okay, so really, what are we doing? So I got so many congratulations from a company, other companies. That's where deals are made to me. Hit that LinkedIn page, improve your LinkedIn page. Here's other considerations, school advertisements. And on LinkedIn, I was on there today. Ulta's hiring for everything. L'Oreal is hiring for a director for Valentino. L'Oreal. And I see a lot of the major companies bringing their requirements, shrinking it down. And I see a lot of companies not requiring post education uh, as far as bachelor's and master's degree. So just take that. Everybody's in this place. I see that a lot. And I saw other companies. There's a PCA skin. They're hiring for a representative in the Memphis area. Saw that on there today. So I'm always
Send me that
checking.
link, please.
I will. I will. I'm gonna go into my LinkedIn and pull it and send it to you. Okay. But yeah, I was like, oh, look at them. They showing up. Targeting school. Of course, we observe the target, the school visit, arranging an employment interview, and I think this has been around for a while too. Hey, if you know someone that works there that's gonna work for you on the positive end, that's the networking. That's building the network. And so I'm actually looking for a position in a higher end of education, but I'm looking to come in as an consultant on that end. And so I don't want to work in a classroom. I want to come in and help you build, find out what your issues are. Let's put a plan together, or some kind of way infiltrate you into AI. So that's what I'm working. So and to me, LinkedIn is like a field day, because you just have the companies, people you need to network with, they're there. Preparing for an interview, the actual interview, be on time, smile, posture. We know the interview, no fidgeting, speak clearly. Sometimes if you know that you rumble, you ramble around, chill out. Okay. Success on the job. All right. Making sure also when you're coming onto a job, if you're going to be in beauty, learn that state board. Learn the state board for every state you're going to be in. Okay. That's going to be big. Learn how they do their grading policies and what's working, and identify what's not working. Okay. That's going to make a major impact on the job. Success on the job, hire a consultant. Everybody needs a consultant and a coach and a mentor. And people say, aren't those the same things? Nope. Okay. Not at all. Fundamentals of business management, written agreements. I am thankful for this young lady. When I worked for Veteran Career College, I was a director, came in as an instructor. Then I moved over to director of the cosmetology component. I am thankful for this black female director. She was over the whole school. She would bring me into her office because we had to work on compliance. It was a new school. They every 10 weeks they were building another aspect of the school. She had, and this was like 2007, 2008. So she would bring myself and one of the lead instructors, and she would say, "Hey guys, this is big. This is a lot. I'm gonna need your help. I'm gonna need y'all to read through these letters." And it was like accreditation letters, and we need to pinpoint what we need to talk about, and we send it over to the corporate team to do. And she was like, "You guys are industry experts." And I was so appreciative because, guys, she showed me how to write professionally. I was already, writing, but she showed me how to write on another level. Okay, corporate wise, as far as letters, she showed me more better email etiquette, how to respond, how to get somebody together in an email without getting them together. So she taught me that. That has really went with me everywhere from there. So I'm just in remembrance of her. I need to send her a thank you later, but talk about it. There's always research salaries, and recently, y'all, I used ChatGPT to. I put in what this company wanted me to do. Then they wanted me to send them a price. So I put it in chat and I said, "What's the going rate? What's the going rate? What are we doing?" And chat broke it down and sent me a going rate. I doubled it. I doubled it, sent it in, and they said, "Great, we'll start from there." I said, "What?" So sometimes you just gotta do all the little homework, okay? Fundamentals of business management, and so on and so on. So I want you to continue reading chapter 14. We're just gonna kiss on a little bit, and next week is all state board prep theory wise. We'll be going over the questions and identifying, highlighting in different areas questions and answers for the state board exam. Let me stop the live stream. Y'all follow us on our